planning 2 steps ahead. This is important specifically within the context of capital raising. A lot of founders, again, I appreciate it, they got the blinders on and they're like, I need to get this raise done and this raise is going to unlock X, Y, and Z, like I got to do it. But they don't think of the implication 6 months later, 12 months later, because unless that capital is going to get you to profit, you're going to run out of money, right? And let's say even you are slightly profitable. At a minimum, if you run out of all that money in the bank, that extra that you were investing, there's only 2 scenarios and both are pretty bad. One is, assuming you're just break even at the end of it, you really can't continue to invest, right? You're going to be limited by your resources. And then you have to go into this whole exercise of raising more money or getting access to debt. And are you going to have access to this money if you're just break even? It's a hard place to be. The harder place to be, the much worse place to be, is the so-called valley of death, which is you run out of money between raise 1 and raise 2, between the time you've collected on raise 2. And guess what? You're in the negative, which means that month that you run out of money, how are you going to cover those bills the next month? You talk about stress. It's the payroll stress that will get you. So this is one of those, okay, if we think the 500K gets us to barely break even or potentially in the negative, we have to really think about that next raise. What are we doing? What are our goals there? And it's not like the situation's going to be the same. You're going to raise 500K in January. You're going to live the year. You're going to make changes. You're going to learn. You're going to grow. And you're going to have new knowledge that may change how you approach the second raise. But just by considering it during the first one, you're going to be so much sharper and so much better able to plan for the second raise and plan for your business. So that way you don't get to the end of phase 1 only to feel shackles get slapped on you. And all of a sudden, all that momentum that you had just stops in its tracks.